Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Michigan Chronicles celebration of 40 under 40. It is great to be here tonight and have you join us. I'm Andre Etch.
And I'm Ashley Stevenson, and we are super excited to be hosting this event tonight.
Absolutely. And you know what? I guess the interesting part about this all being virtual is that you get to avoid the cold weather that we had in store for us today. You know,
it was so chilly. If you guys tuned into our Tigers Live opening coverage, you saw me outside literally freezing my hands off. It was 29 degrees. It's 31 degrees the first day of April. That was by far the worst April Fool's joke.
I did not know I'll be waking up to snow this morning. You probably didn't either. So I guess that's the best part about our virtual ceremony tonight is that you get to be comfortable remotely wherever you are tonight. And it's going to be a great one because we are excited to be celebrating people of our city, celebrating 40 under 40 and, young professionals just like us.
Absolutely. Tonight we are celebrating 40 dope young black professionals who are literally titans of their industry. They are masters of their craft. And when it comes to Black excellence in the city of Detroit, it is literally up and it is stuck. And I cannot wait to celebrate you guys this evening.
And it's stuck. It's up and it's stuck. That's a song, right?
Yes, it's Cardi B. Okay, I'm done.
I'm not gonna try. But this is the 7th year that the Chronicle has bestowed these awards. 40 under 40 has a rich tradition of recognizing the up and coming leaders in our city. Just looking back at previous years, 40 under 40 has recognized recording artists, news anchors, heads of major companies, government officials, and so many more. There's so many amazing people in our city who are doing the work to move our city forward.
Yes, and I deeply respect these individuals who we have that we are honoring this evening, our new inductees. These are people who excel in every industry from law to film to education, being a doctor, medical, anything that you can think of. We have found them all. You voted for them, and we are here to celebrate them and just show them how amazing they truly are.
Absolutely. And we had a chance to meet a few of the honorees a couple of weeks ago at an event that we hosted.
Oh, yes, at the Mixer.
Absolutely, a very intimate networking reception. Take a listen.
To personally welcome you all here this afternoon. Thank you for coming out and celebrating with us. And B, to congratulate you on being the class of 2020 40 under 40 honorees. We know it's been a bumpy road, but we didn't want to let the moment pass without some level of recognition because you are all so very deserving of it. I want you to know that today, or this past 6 months, it's the beginning of what we see as a journey for you with us. This isn't just an award we give out haphazardly. We really are proud of the work you do, and we want to invest in the work that you're doing going forward. We want to, so when you're doing something big or you need something big, think of us as part of your family, as part of your network. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone. Reach out to your other 40 under 40 honorees. We just want to see Black folks doing those things in the city. And if we don't celebrate you, nobody else will. So thank you. Keep up the good work. And here's to future success and abundance. Congratulations and welcome to the family. So now I'm going to finish both your plaques. And while our numbers are few, you still don't have to turn up like the whole crowd's watching. We're going to cheer, we're going to scream, we're going to clap it up. And there's a footage from the anniversary event that we're having on April 1st. But yeah, we wanted to, celebrate yourselves, pat yourselves on the back. It's been a hard year, y'all. And the sheer fact that we are all here and thriving is words just can't express how important that is. So thank you. Enjoy. That was the program.
Talk to us about how does it feel to be recognized in this honor?
It's actually a really big honor, and for me, a really big deal, especially because what I do and what I've done in the past has never been about me in the first place, right? So it's easy for me to honor other people and celebrate other women in the fashion and beauty industry and in media, but to get recognized for my efforts is truly a blessing. So I really appreciate the honor and feel humbled by it.
I was just telling one of the other honorees that it's like, times like this, you get to kind of stop and realize what you've done. You have your head down working so hard, you don't really realize until you get honored for something. So I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But being an honoree, I am big on us supporting us. And as the speaker was said earlier, making sure that this is more than just today, a community in which we can reach out to our network, to collaborate. And we love our city. We're just being a part of a circle that we're now inducted in. So it's an honor.
Absolutely.
It's a very prestigious honor. The Michigan Chronicle has a rich history. It's the oldest African-American owned newspaper. I think that stamp carries a lot of weight to it. So it's like a major cosign as you move forward and try to do things in your career.
When I learned of the news, I was so excited. It was so unexpected.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I did, I kind of looked at the roster of folks that were selected and looked at their credentials, and I'm like, whoa, I'm part of a distinguished group of professionals, community activists, folks that are, movers and shakers and curators of the movement, right? And I mean, it was so impressive for me to kind of see the group, and then I went back and started looking at the preceding groups. And when I did that, it was like, oh my goodness. It was important to me, but then that kind of elevated it to a whole nother level. Say, whoa, you think about who you are. I'm like, I'm just an everyday guy,
Like, wow, I'm a part of this group.
Yeah, this is like me. I mean, I had to ask that question. I called the person that nominated. I was like, you felt like this about me, and so it was a really cool experience. I couldn't be more grateful, and most importantly, I think one of the important things is to make sure that I continue to kind of do this legacy of 40 under 40.
Actually, a very humbling experience. Being amongst a group of young men and women that are pillars in the community, both within the career and actually also as community activists and people that just been around. I know. Well, actually, half have probably been inductees for the past 15 years, coming from, just being recent college grads to trying to find our way here in the city to, really see a lot of my peers just do amazing things in the community, both within the career and the community. So it's humbling.
All right, so we are back. That was a pretty cool mixer.
We had so much fun at that mixer. We
Yeah.
had so many amazing people. We took some great photos. I made a reel on Instagram, which reminds us, follow us on IG at Michigan Chronicle.
Yeah, Ashley's always making like dope social media videos, and you're always one for. She's out now. Look, Ashley is known for taking photos like model photos. There is not an event that she doesn't stop to take pictures. And I witnessed that for myself for the first time at this mixer. But a lot of cool people though, and certainly being honored, for who they are. That was pretty cool. The conversations were very interesting as we got to learn more about them and even learn more about you as well and what movies you do and don't watch. But
I've never seen what is Paid in Full. There's just a couple of Black cult classics, you guys, that I haven't seen. And also, I don't like macaroni and cheese, but this is not about me. We're going to move forward.
Our honorees loved you, though. They loved you.
Yes, they did. And as you can see on that video, too, I had a great conversation with Jess Sabree, who was also one of our inductees today. We had great conversations, like you said. The food was great. We had chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits. We had mimosas. The libations were flowing. Unlike in the studio right now, where all I have is a water bottle.
Well, but the vibe is here.
The vibe is still here. We're still
we just need a DJ, though.
Exactly.
That's the only thing we're missing.
Jamel, what you got over there on Jamel says we don't have any sounds today. Sorry, you guys.
Well, coming up, we have much more great show for you, but we got to talk about what this year has been like, because as the world is beginning to slowly open back up,
absolutely.
However, we can't forget about how 2020 has rocked our communities from the pandemic to global protests about racial injustice.
Absolutely.
As Tanisha said, it was a hard year.
It was.
And I think one of the things that I learned about 2020 was valuing the time that you have with the closest people around you, close friends and family. Because as we learned with 2020, you could be here today, gone tomorrow. That was the traditional phrase, but we now know you could be gone here, live here today, and be gone here today as well. So valuing that time with the people closest around you, I think, is what I learned in 2020, and telling that close, special person around you that you love them.
Yeah, absolutely. And in agreement with that, I feel like for myself, I learned, and this is something that I've been talking about my friends as well, or talking to my friends about as well, I should say, is just appreciating the season of life you were in. I think last year, COVID allowed all of us to be a little bit more still, a little bit more intentional about our movements. I had a lot of opportunity to focus on my gifts and some things that I really wanted to do. And it's just about self-acceptance. No matter what stage of life you were in, I think it gave us all great opportunity to see that we have a lot of things in common.
Yeah.
For myself as a social media manager and a content creator, I was looking online and I just saw how much a shared experience life really is for us. No matter how the world tries to paint us so differently or insert diversity or pin us against, not insert diversity, but pin us against each other as so different. It showed us that there's so many similarities in who we are, and we should just appreciate that about ourselves.
Now, I know you said that 2020 kept us still for a minute.
Yes.
Now, in some ways, it was almost a bit too still for me.
You know what?
I was struggling in the beginning, like, oh my gosh, is this only going to be like 2 weeks, or how long do I have to stay in the house? But certainly, I think it provided everyone we needed in this world to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, slow down a little bit.
Catch a break.
Definitely.
And get to be more in tune within yourself, right?
100%. I know for myself, too, it was I put a lot more miles on my car. I was driving to Target probably a little too much, and also
how were you doing that when you were supposed to be in the house?
Because you know what, for myself, I was taking a lot of drives. It was 696 was empty, and I just took that as some alone time and just went and drove and listened to my music and enjoyed myself.
We all needed a bit of a break.
Yes.
But I spoke to a few of the honorees about how they've adapted to the hurdles of last year and what it has thrown us. Take a listen. And presenting the news and getting information has certainly, we've had to adapt to this last year of COVID-19 pandemic. So certainly that work life has been different for you. How have you been able to adapt to that?
Well, I haven't been at my desk since March, since a year. So that's a big adapt. We're used to going to the station, having meetings, and we haven't did that. So now we're doing our meetings on Microsoft Teams. One-on-one interviews, we don't do that really anymore. We do Zoom interviews, And so all of it's really different because we're utilizing more technology now.
When the pandemic first hit, we had to close our offices. So that really changed the scope of therapy for a lot of people. It went from being person to person, which therapy is a very intimate, experience, to being completely virtual. I was a little apprehensive and a little nervous about how that transition would be for my clients, but it's been absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, because it seemed like that would be a big shift. But now we're forced to, be on Zoom and be virtual. But certainly you say it's working just fine for you.
Yes, people have really enjoyed the convenience of being at home and being able to participate in therapy. And I think it's actually brought a lot more people to the therapeutic experience that have never done it before. I have in the last year, I've had a lot of first-time clients to start the therapy process just because they have the time and the luxury of doing it from their home.
But there have been challenges with COVID. So last year, essentially, for the clients that we do the actual content production for and not just strategy, we had to slow up. I couldn't go to them and record for a very, very long time. So we had to pivot. And some of my clients actually allowed me to help them by saying, hey, pull your phone out, do this.
The COVID-19 pandemic, especially during lockdown, has been challenging for everyone. Working from home, learning new ways of work, Zoom fatigue.
I think we're all Zoom fatigue, right?
Yes, but I would say I think I've adapted, and I think it's just human nature to adapt to change. It's been really beneficial, I think, because it's providing me new ways of working, new ways of connecting with people.
In this time, it's more than just being about education. It's about being there for kids, parents, and teachers. So this COVID season have allowed me to view my job in a different lens. So now, instead of talking to a parent about a student's grades, I'm like, okay, how are you doing? You know, instead of talking to teachers about implementing strategies, how are you doing? So just allowing us, this season has allowed us to get to know each other on another level, and just to have that relationship that we need to make sure everyone is okay while fulfilling the duty of being an educator.
Yeah.
2020 brought new challenges to the hospital system. I work for the Detroit Medical Center, and it allowed us to not only be flexible, but also showed us how more family we were. So it challenged me to be to think on my toes. We're now dealing with a lot more patients with COVID, and trying to assist those people to overcome some of the side effects from COVID, and especially my athletes. There's a lot of lung restrictions and things of that nature, and to be able to think outside the box, which has been a challenge, I think, for everyone. But this year has given us a new appreciation, I think, for the medical community, and I'm sure everyone can say that.
Absolutely.
As well, right?
Oh. And if you've just started to watch us live, we want to thank you for joining us for the 2020 Michigan Chronicle 40 Under 40 ceremony here this evening. And we want to take this moment to thank our sponsors as well, from the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation as well as General Motors. We want to take this time to thank you, because without your support, programs like this, 40 Under 40, would not be possible. So we want to thank our sponsors. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And speaking of support, without the support of you, our viewers, our wonderful readers, and those of you who work so hard to impact our communities, we wouldn't be here without you. With that being said, we want you to continue your support by liking this video, loving it, commenting, sharing your thoughts, your ideas. Tag future honorees that are 40 Under 40 that you think are doing dope in the community and that you want to support as well. And share this video. Follow us on any social media at Michigan Chronicle. We're there. Stay in the loop. We're the voice of the community, and you are the community. We are your voice. 40 Under 40 is not just about highlighting Black excellence. Right. It's about highlighting and amplifying the message about these honorees and their endeavors in the community. These are people who have used blood, sweat, and tears to make an impact. They know what it takes to run a business. They have impacted this next generation of 40 Under 40 and the next class of 40 Under 40 to say, yes, I can, to doing everything that it takes to make all of their dreams come true, to really, the word I want to use here is to really go for the gold and to make everything happen that their heart desires. And with that being said, let's see what these honorees had to say about impacting that next generation of visionaries.
I love it.
But certainly people who have left the city are really not familiar with a lot of the new investment and changes that are happening in the city as well. So you have a unique role in introducing them to the city, that they left, but also have the opportunity and saying, hey, the opportunity of what's here and what's to come. Talk to us about that role.
So as the outreach director for Detroit Homecoming, this is our 7th year, going to our 8th. And definitely the goal here is just to reconnect what we call Detroit expats, former folks that live here in the city in very prominent, successful roles, CEOs, investors, and we try and re-engage them in opportunities here in the city. We've, to date, are responsible for maybe $7 million, I think, in total assets.
Wow.
And investments here in the city. And this is just in real estate, community organizations, and other philanthropy outlets. So it's definitely a near and dear sort of situation for me, being raised here in the city, public school student. It's definitely something that I take a lot of pride in, and just seeing the impact that we've had over these 8 years has been enormous.
Starting April 1st, I'll be the Director of Diversity Marketing and Development for GM.
Wow. So look, you're breaking some news with us. Congratulations. Congratulations. So talk to us about how that role will impact the organization and really for the better, perhaps.
Absolutely. As you may have seen, our CEO is very dedicated to DE&I efforts and making sure that GM is the most inclusive organization. So this role is only a testament to how dedicated GM is to making sure that not only our marketing and advertising efforts include minorities and people of color and all genders and things like that. It's just a true testament to what we need to do and where we want to progress as an organization.
Absolutely.
eCoside is integrated marketing and communications firm that specializes in culture forward solutions for corporate spaces, private sector, and nonprofit. We do everything from integrated communication strategies all the way to D&I consulting. So we are happy to be a part of the national and even global conversation of how to create more inclusive spaces and environments. So while it's definitely been a crazy time starting this business and being able to affect change for the overall national and international conversation, COVID-19 has definitely created a space for which our team has had to really get closer, not necessarily physically, but virtually. So yes, we've definitely been affected, but we have a really great team.
I knew I wanted to stand up for people. So I was a prosecutor first. I worked for the city, I worked for the water department, mayor's office, police department. So it's always been public service. And I knew that I needed to have an array of experience before I came to the bench so I could actually be able to be a qualified judge and to have the love for my people. So I just always believe that if you're going to be a judge in this city or a public servant, you need to understand who you're serving and treat people as if they're your own.
Well, that is what we love here at the Michigan Chronicle. So thank you for all the work that you do, and congratulations on being an honoree here for our 2020 Michigan Chronicle 40 Under 40.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Honestly, shown at a young age that I had leadership ability, leadership capability, and that was one of the things that Coach Fobbs always instilled in me. Like, he's always had this one saying that if you're going to be the man, then be the man. Don't just walk around here acting like somebody you're not. So if you're going to be that person, then be that person. And that really stuck with me because if I'm going to be a leader, then be a leader.
That music on the video is a little vibey.
I love it. See, I told you we needed a DJ.
I know. It was like that
music,
music. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a little hit. I hear it.
Catching the vibes. Well, no matter where we are in our journeys, we can always use a little wisdom and a little guidance from those who have been where we are. And now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker.
Yes.
Our keynote speaker for the evening, who is Dr. William F. Picard.
Who was amazing, by the way.
Absolutely. He launched his entrepreneurial journey as McDonald's franchisee in Detroit, and that was more than 3 decades ago. In 1989, he founded an automotive manufacturing company and grew it into a global automotive alliance, a network of logistics and manufacturing firms with more than $500 million in sales and 8 plants in the United States and Canada. He is the chairman of GAA, co-managing partner of MGM Grand Detroit Casino, CEO of Bearwood Management Company, and co-owner of 5 Black-owned newspapers. That is pretty dope.
I just want to say, Dr. Picard, let me hold something.
Just a little something.
Right, a couple tips from MGM Grand, a suite, nothing too the presidential, nothing too big, nothing too flashy.
He is a lifelong member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Picard has served on numerous business and nonprofit boards, including Asset Acceptance Capital Corporation, Michigan National Bank, LaSalle Bank, Business Leaders for Michigan,
Wow.
National Urban League, as well as the Detroit Sympathy Orchestra and the Detroit Black Chamber of Commerce, the President Advisory Commission on Trade Policy and Negotiation, as well as the Detroit Educational Achievement Authority. Dr. Picard has a passion for White House initiatives on historical Black colleges and universities and minority businesses, as well as entrepreneurship. So,
Talk about a mogul.
absolutely.
My goodness.
So, without further ado, please help me welcome Dr. William F. Picard.
The world is not fair. The world is not fair, but God is. I have a very simple belief in life, and it runs counter to what a lot of people will say about life. And that is, I am from Flint, Michigan, and many of you are from east side, west side of Detroit and what have you. And I have a shout out for you. I believe strongly that anybody from anywhere can accomplish anything. I'm going to repeat that. Even though Hiram Jackson is from Highland Park, I still believe that anybody from anywhere can accomplish anything. I want to congratulate all of you on your 40 under 40. I went through most of your resumes last night, and let me just say to you, I am impressed. Your grandmamas and your grandfathers are impressed. But I must tell you, W.E. Du Bois was wrong. He talked about the talented 10th. You represent the best of our community, the best of America, the best of the world. And I believe it's about 80 or 90% of us that can be like you and can achieve like you and can give back like you. So I commend you on this great achievement. And obviously I'm a seasoned citizen. So I've been thinking about where was I at this juncture in my life and what was Detroit doing? And I'm very happy to tell you that Detroit at that moment, we had an unusual mayor, Coleman Alexander Young, but he had one simple philosophy that was overriding. 50-50, baby, 50-50. And that was a cry that all of us should have an opportunity to participate in all aspects of the greater Detroit community and especially the economic opportunities. So I commend you because you have proven beyond a doubt that you're ready, you're among the best. You vary from the great Ohio State to the great University of Michigan. I saw those of you from Grand Valley, which I love, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan. So you are more than prepared. But what also impressed me is the diversity of your fields of endeavor. Now, I am a social worker. Now, you know that's the bottom of the heap. When you can't pass chemistry and you can't pass algebra, major in social work. You can't go wrong. I'm a living example of that. But I must tell you very quickly, I am the epitome of a solid C student. Went to a Lord have mercy college. I'm sorry, my grandfather called it the community college. Went to Western Michigan on probation. Went to the University of Michigan on probation. And went to Ohio State to get my doctorate, all on probation. But I'm a living witness that God is able. I'm a living witness that if you put the work in, the rest is easy. So I commend you on your excellence. I commend you on your success, but I'm also impressed how many of you are giving back to our community. I don't apologize. I have a responsibility. I owe the Black people of Detroit, Flint, and indeed the world, but I have a debt that I must pay. And I try to go about doing something every day of my life to repay that debt. So let me quickly tell you a few things that I think might be important as you go forward. One, you're at a magic moment in Detroit now, And I was trying to contrast Detroit today versus my 40th year when I was 40 years old in Detroit. Well, one thing that you have that we didn't have, you now have Black business people who have been very successful. You have billion-dollar companies now like Bridgewater. You have those of us who've been out here 20, 30, 40, 50 years in business. We didn't have those kinds of symbols when I came along. Yeah, people were successful, but they were not in those kinds of endeavors. So rest assured that if we can do it, you can do it. But I must say to you also that the competition is greater. We competed with the people down the street, east side, west side, this drugstore against that drugstore. Today, you're competing around the world. It is indeed a global event. So you have to be more on your game even than we were. A couple of quick things I'll say to you. I oftentimes say when God gives you the vision, he also gives you the provision to achieve the vision. I believe visualization is critical. As a matter of fact, Jay-Z, whom I love and admire in terms of his great genius, Jay-Z at 18 years of age wrote the following. And you know, at that time he lived in Marcy projects, and most projects have those very small windows. Jay-Z says, your vision should not be limited by the size of the window you're looking through. And in the projects, of course, you have very, very small windows. Well, today we have gigantic windows. We have huge windows. And I would beg of you, do not let your vision and your aspirations be limited by the size of the window you're looking through. So it's critical that the Bible was correct. Without vision, the people shall perish. And I will say this, it sounds like pop psychology, but remember now, I'm a C student, so give me a break. You will never be what you cannot see. You must visualize what you want to actualize. And I know that my time is almost up, so let me leave with a couple of gems. I'm gonna say this, I know I'm in a new era of Black folks and white folks, but I gotta say something to the brothers. Any Black man with dreams ought to try to find him a Black woman with vision. Because if you visualize it, you can actualize it. And I don't apologize for my statement in that regard because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've been a part of observing successful families who stuck together through thick and thin and relationships that actually worked. So you have a responsibility to just align yourself with like-minded people that have a shared vision and a shared commitment to our community. Well, in closing, I want you to know, especially those from Grand Valley, I'm on a project for Grand Valley, and I saw that someone was a math professor or teacher or instructor down at Cass Tech, and I'm on a project to help Black people from Detroit and Black people from the Bahamas major in agriculture. I didn't stutter. I didn't say farming. I said agriculture. So I need some help with the mathematics, I might call it. Then finally, the Ohio State. I'm a graduate of Ann Arbor, but Ohio State is doing some dynamic things. So again, I might reach out to you for help. Hiram, I want to thank you and your visionary leadership. And I'll just say this. All you have to do is do your best, and God will do the rest.
I love that message. It was a powerful one. And if you grew up in a Black church, all we now need is a organ for his words of encouragement. I loved it. I loved it. Well, welcome back to the Michigan Chronicle as we celebrate 40 under 40. You all are familiar with Michigan Chronicle and its long-standing service to the community here in Detroit, but you may not know that the Chronicle does not stand alone. It does not stand alone in the mission to tell our stories on our terms. With our sisters outlet or sister outlets in Atlanta, Chicago, and Pittsburgh, the Michigan Chronicle we know and love is a part of a family of iconic Black news brands owned by Real Times Media, a multimedia company headquartered right here in Detroit. And here with us now to tell more about the future of the Chronicle and its impact on a national level is Hiram E. Jackson, publisher of the Michigan Chronicle and CEO of Real Times Media. Hiram, boss, it's good to have you join us this evening. What makes the 40 under 40 awards so special?
First of all, I heard Dr. Picard say something about me being from Highland Park, and what's wrong with a brother from Highland Park? I mean,
I've asked that question as well.
Exactly. Now, Andre, man, thank you so much for hosting this. You and Ashley are doing an amazing job. It's opening day today, a lot of energy downtown. I saw the stuff that you guys were doing earlier. So, downtown is obviously under COVID restrictions, but we're alive and well, and all is good. I'm excited about this 40 under 40. I was talking to you earlier about this. I was a part of Crane's 40 under 40, and we had an amazing class there. And I always wonder, why didn't the Michigan Chronicle have a 40 under 40? And, not to cast aspersions against Crane's, I love Crane's, but if you think about it, they have 2 or 3 people a year who are Black under 40. So that means over the last 20 years, they may have done 20 to 25 Black people who are under 40. And I would venture to say that in the last 20 years, we've had more than 20 people, 25 people who are worthy of this distinction. So we started the 40 under 40 to recognize Black people who are, killing the game, who are doing amazing things, who need recognition. And all of our brands, that's what we're about, celebrating Black achievement. So it's just a natural transition for us to start recognizing what young people are doing, creating a further foundation for our community. So just pleased to be a part of it, man.
Yeah. And this year's program, Hiram, is very different from previous years, and we've had to transition to a virtual event. Why was it so important to still have this event?
I just felt like COVID wasn't going to steal our shine. I mean, these people have worked all their lives to get to the point they are today. And we've had some adversity, but we live in adversity. That's what Black people do, right? We make stuff happen. And so we weren't going to let COVID-19 steal our opportunity to recognize these people. If you look at this list of 40 people, Andre, we can do some amazing stuff. There's nothing that we can't do with just this 40 group. We have people who are educators, government officials, entrepreneurs, healthcare executives, people in the legal field, and what we look like just not giving them an opportunity. I mean, the community needs to see this list of people. Every day that you see on the 6 o'clock news, they try to define who we are. And this is our opportunity to say, no, this is who we are. So I just thought it was really important. And thank God, all of our staff, this is how we operate. We don't let things stop us. So it was really important that we reached out to this group. We had like 4 or 5 stops and starts. We tried to do a lot of different things, but the restrictions were too tight. But it's important that we stop, smell the roses, and recognize the best and brightest in our community.
I love it. And as we're entering the second quarter of 2021, I want to ask you, what does this year bring for the Michigan Chronicle?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, the Michigan Chronicle is a subsidiary of Real Times Media. We're a national company. It's funny because people in Detroit don't recognize that we operate in almost 15 cities, that we have several media brands. And Detroit is just one of our markets. It's our most special market, obviously, because we're headquartered here. We just launched the opening of a new studio that you're sitting in, Studio 1452. And our goal is really to continue to transform our company to meet people where they are. To embrace the technology that people want us to have, and to tell amazing stories about amazing Black people. These 40 individuals that we're recognizing today are a part of a larger community of professionals and executives and community leaders. And we do this in several markets: 40 under 40, Women of Excellence, Men of Excellence. And pretty soon we're going to be launching a website where these people can become a part of a community to speak to each other, to network, to assist each other. So this is going to be a great year for us, and we're not going to let COVID-19 stop it. I would encourage all of these honorees to become a deeper part of our family, to travel with us when the world opens back up, to travel with us to our different markets when we have different events, and just to watch what we do. We got Pancakes and Politics and other events that are going to come up. So we have a lot of stuff going on in 2021.
I love it. The schedule is packed, and we are moving straight forward. And Hiram, it's been great talking with you, and I'll let you get back to being the busy businessman you are.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And you're doing a great job. Tell Ashley I said hello down there. I know she's down there someplace. And Mel, let me just recognize the Michigan Chronicle and the Real Times Media staff. I get to show up and act like I actually did some work, but really the heart and soul of this is with the staff. Jamel's behind the board down there. Jamel's doing an amazing job. And thank you, Amber Tucker, who is really the coordinator for all of this. It's really, we do 70 events around the country, 70. So I really want to thank the staff for being professional and making sure that we look good across the country. Thank you.
Oh, that's one thing we're going to do. We're going to look good. We're going to look good. Thanks, Hiram Jackson, so much. We appreciate it. And we'll continue on with the show.
Thank you.
All right. Ashley Stevenson, we continue now with the 40 under 40. This has been good. Fun.
It's been super fun, and I want to say hi, Hiram. Thank you. Thank you for our jobs. We appreciate it every time we get paid. Next, yes, I honestly just want to speak right now to our 40 under 40 inductees, awardees. As Tanisha mentioned in the first video, this is just not another award. This is a welcome to the Michigan Chronicle family. We have seen your grind, your hustle, your dedication to excellence, your tenacity. I know for myself, your creativity. Something that we talked about a lot at that mixer was about how business owners had to be creative last year, keeping your businesses afloat, staying in contact with those around you, not only your family members, but those who depend on your business to survive. We did not take that for granted. The people around you did not take that for granted. And we just cannot wait to celebrate you today. We are so very proud of you. I'm proud of you, Andre, Jamel, Hiram. We are also proud of you. Your loved ones are proud of you. And without further ado, we cannot wait to celebrate you and show our 40 under 40 inductee class. Jamel, please roll it. Sharifa Alcindor, Senior Consultant, System Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Henry Ford Health System. Tarshina Armstrong, Business Planning Manager for Chairman and CEO, General Motors. Alfred Ashew, Assistant Corporation Counsel, City of Detroit Law. Pierre Batten, Vice President of Small Business Services, Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. Shayla Beeson, Director of Medicare Advantage Coordination of Care Program, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Representative Kyra Harris Bolden, State Representative, Michigan. Candace Bowman, Managing Partner, EqualSign. Kai Bowman. Reginald Brown, Marketing Insights Analyst, Cranes Detroit Business. DeLorean Burton, Founder, The DeLorean Enterprise. Stephanie Bird, Co-owner, Flood's Bar and Grill, The Garden Theater, and The Block. Knox Cameron, Manager, Renewable Marketing and Sales, DTE Energy. Matthew Carter, Vice President, USI Insurance Services. Jewel Chapman, Director of Workforce Development and Education, Focus Hope. Kimberly Dobine, owner, Posh and Popular LLC. Ize Ejelanu, President, Best Network Design and Associates LLC. Ariel Ellis, Film Director, Woodward Original. James Fegan, Founder, CEO, Projects and People. Desmond Gray, Area Manager, Fiat Chrysler Automotive. Antonio Green, President, James H. Cole, Home for Funerals. Dr. Stephanie Hawks, Assistant Director for the Office of Multicultural Student Engagement, Wayne State University. Kristen Howard, Chief of Staff, Detroit Public Schools Community District. Jordan Jackson, General Manager, Prestige Cadillac. Iman Jefferson, East Coast Communications Lead, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick, General Motors. Latrice McClendon, Senior Vice President of Community Relations, TCF Bank. Jasmine Williams McCoy, Director of Diversity and Inclusion, Rock Ventures. Dr. Sabrina Claude McGee, Superintendent of Schools, Old Redford Academy School District. Charles Muse, Assistant Program Engineering Manager, Autonomous, General Motors. Dan Ngoyi, Vice President, Talent Acquisition, Rock Central. Kalana Oli, Deputy Chief Legal Counsel, Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network. Patricia Perry, Assistant Principal, Cass Technical High School. Robert Reeves, Director of Accreditation, Wayne State University School of Medicine. Tamika Reeves, Clinical Therapist and Founder, Transition Family Services. Aaliyah Sabri, Judge, 36th District Court. Bruce Simpson, Ombudsman, City of Detroit. Larry Sproul Jr., News Reporter, WDIV-TV, Local 4 Detroit. Courtney Squirewell, Executive Director of Innovation and Stakeholder Engagement, Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. Dr. Latoya Thompson, Senior Sports Physical Therapist, the Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, DMC. Dennis Beal II, Assistant Principal, Martin Luther King High School. Dr. Lauren Walker, Co-owner and Medical Director, Colonial Veterinary Clinic. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in celebrating the Michigan Chronicle Class of 2020, 40 Under 40. Congratulations.
At this time, we'd like to congratulate our 2020 Michigan Chronicle 40 Under 40 honorees. And as our evening comes to an end, we'll also like to pay a special thank you to our sponsors, Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, as well as General Motors for sponsoring this very special event. We are honored to have their support because, again, without them, we would not be able to put on this type of event. So
absolutely,
thank you for everyone who was honored and recognized. This has been fun.
It's been very fun, and we want to encourage you guys to. The Michigan Chronicle does still print a paper every week. Every Wednesday, we come out with something beautiful as the voice of the community, and we want to encourage you to get this week's edition and volume of the Michigan Chronicle. It has a very special spread for all of our 40 Under 40 awardees, and we want you to have it for times to come. And we also want you to get the Michigan Chronicle because we're writing some pretty dope things in there. You don't want to miss out.
Yeah, and you'll get stories and news
Yes.
that in many often cases you won't get anywhere else.
That's
So
very true.
pick up that paper, only $1. Go to MichiganChronicle.com to find out where you can pick up yours. So pretty cool.
Yes, and follow us, like I said before, Michigan Chronicle on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything that you can think of. We have a TikTok now. We have a lot of fun on there. Make sure you follow us on there as well. And stay tuned with us. Tag us throughout this event. Like I said, continue to like, share, comment on this video. Do know that as soon as the video ends and it's going to be uploaded on our pages, you can continue to watch later on. Maybe you're at work or cooking dinner. It's something that you don't want to miss because these are 40 Black dope individuals who are just
Real
doing the damn thing, okay?
Real dope.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
this list. Love this list. And I love what's the next 40 under 40 honorees are to come.
Yes, absolutely. So without further ado, pour it up, get your bottles of Moet red wine.
I love it.
Winter's over, isn't it?
Red, just as red as her dress tonight, right?
Right, exactly. Just a little bit darker, a cab or something like that will probably do good tonight.
Oh, goodness. Congratulations to all of you. And thank you so much for joining us. And as always, continue to read and watch Michigan Chronicle.
Congratulations. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.